Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Moon and I'm one of the Senior Business Development Managers at CPA Australia. You've probably seen us at our stall, so it's nice to meet you all today and speak to you about CPA, and thank you once again for giving up your lunch break to come to our talk. So basically today I'm really going to be talking about how to become a CPA, the benefits of CPA Australia membership, and some of the membership pathways and arrangements that we have, in particular if you're already a qualified accountant through some of the other professional bodies. So firstly, I'll start off by introducing CPA Australia, and today's a pretty good day to introduce CPA because it's our 136th birthday. So we have been in operation for over 130 years specifically today, and we have over 25 members in senior leadership positions with 168,000 of our members in over 100 countries. So we're actually the third largest professional body. And our core member services are education, advocacy, technical support, and training. So I mentioned we have over 168,000 members in 100 countries. And yeah, one of the things that we're really known for is our global network and our global reach. We actually have multiple offices in various countries. So you can see here we have lots of offices in the Asia Pacific area in particular, where our brand recognition is particularly strong, and we have a lot of members in that particular region. And of course, Australia and New Zealand. What does it mean to be a CPA? So it's a prestigious, internationally recognized designation. It's a mark of professional higher competence, which basically means no matter where you go or where you are, you're extremely marketable, you're extremely recruitable for having this designation. And the academic rigor of our program indicates a soundness in depth, breadth, and quality of accountancy knowledge. And just to touch upon that point, they're widely regarded by employers and other members. So I mentioned that we have mutual recognition agreements. So essentially what that means is that we've partnered with other professional bodies. So if you're a member of another body and you're interested in CPA membership, we may recognize in full or partially your membership. So some of the MRAs that we have, you may recognize a few of these or may even be a member of these. So CIMA, SIPFA, CPA Ireland, for example, in the UK. We've got quite a few in Asia and the Asia Pacific area. So like ICMAP, the Indian Institute, for example, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia. Got AICPA, which has obviously formed an alliance with CIMA in America. And we've got ICPAC and ANAN in Africa. We also have pathways where we don't have MRAs, but we have pathways where if you've been a member for a certain number of years, we will recognize that membership in full or partially. So for example, ACCA and ICAW, if you've been a member for over 5 years, then we will recognize your membership and grant you direct membership to CPA. I will just say that if you didn't see your body, if you are a qualified accountant and you didn't see your body, that doesn't mean that we don't recognize it. We do have quite a few, so I listed some of the common ones, but it's still worth having a chat with me if you are interested and you didn't see your membership. So why should you become a CPA member? We've asked some of our members who've actually converted via mutual recognition agreements, and some of the things that they said is that the CPA membership has broadened their accountancy knowledge and allowed them to gain additional insights into the sector. So we don't only focus on the local trends and insights and local knowledge, we also focus on from a global and regional perspective as well. So that's really helpful for those with a more local designation already. Immigration purposes, so it's made them more marketable in Asia and Australia, and kind of touching upon that. Anyone who's self-employed or wants to widen their reach in Asia and Australia, it's helped them gain more clients and really get their foot in the door in that market. The membership process was really easy. It's given more them an additional designation and more letters after their name. It's allowed them to do consulting and contracting work in Asia and Australia. So if some of these things are things that you would like, then I would strongly recommend the designation. Here we have a member testimonial from one of our lovely CPA members. Her name is Fabiana Tan, and she's actually a global accounting research and policy specialist at Chanel. I always like to include Fabiana in our slides because anyone who's actually interested in a career in like corporate accounting, Fabiana is a great example of how you don't have to just work for the Big Four or a firm if you don't want to. You could always widen your reach and combine it with a passion that you have. So in Fabiana's instance, it's fashion. And she says, the certification from CPA Australia has been instrumental in my career. It has helped broaden my understanding of accounting, provided me with invaluable global network, and has allowed me to move internationally from Australia to my current role at Chanel in London. And then we also have another one of our lovely members talking about her designation. She's actually a fellow CPA, so I'll just play that video now. Hopefully this will play. Really sorry about the sound quality, but hopefully you were able to read the subtitles. And whilst talking about our members, coincidentally, we have Matt, who is a CPA member and one of our council members. Matt, if you'd like to say a few words about your experience as being a CPA member.
Okay. Yeah, look, it's actually purely coincidence. I'm up here, I mean, as you saw earlier on, part of the UK endorsement board. And that's the reason I'm up here in the conference. But in fact, I am a CPA and in fact on the council. And I guess what I wanted to say just very, very briefly is that, as Stuart said, I was an academic for 20 years. And during that time, I became aware of CPA, I was active in CPA, and I became a CPA member through the special admission for academics. And, you know, that gave some huge benefits. One, while I was an academic, and we were talking about this earlier, I don't think this program is in place right at the moment, but CPA funded some of my very early research. In fact, the very paper that was mentioned, CPA provided the funding for me to get 55 years of annual reports from Rothmans that we analyzed for the Rothmans paper. But I think importantly, and I thought I was going to be an academic for the rest of my career. And then in 2015, the International Accounting Standards Board was looking for a director of education, and they wanted someone with academic experience, but also professional accounting qualifications. And so, having become a member of CPA Australia, not really ever expecting to be a professional accountant, that CPA recognition is what got me the role with the International Accounting Standards Board. It's there that I found that really my passion was probably accounting standards setting. And again, when I joined UKEB, I needed an accounting qualification, and that CPA Australia is internationally recognized. I've had opportunities that I haven't taken, but CPA is recognized in the US, CPA is recognized in Europe. So I think it's something worth considering as an academic, because you never know when you might need that formal qualification for complete change. And and a very active body in the UK, and in fact throughout Europe. I meet lots of people, have lots of really interesting discussions, and have got to learn and do really interesting things. So yeah, certainly, like I say, it's a very useful qualification to have.
Fab, thank you, Matt. So I also mentioned about immigration purposes. That's something that a lot of our members consider the CPA membership for, and we're actually approved by the Department of Immigration and Border Protection to assess the qualifications of accountants. We provide like migration assessment services as well. So again, if you are interested in a career in Australia or New Zealand and migrating there, please feel free to come up and have a chat with me afterwards about that. This is a very quick slide to talk about the process of becoming a CPA. So as you can see, it's fairly straightforward. You submit your application if you have a professional designation already, and depending on our pathway or the mutual recognition agreement, we may exempt you in full from our program or partially. So yeah, so each case is different, but again, very happy to take any specific questions about designations and pathways at the end as well, if needed. But if you do not have a professional designation and you are interested in the CPA designation, then we do have various pathways. Matt mentioned, he took the special admissions pathway that we have in place specifically for academics. So again, if that's something that you're interested in, then we'll be very happy to support you through the process of that. And if you're considering the membership and you do have to do some of our exams, I'll do a quick slide on the exams that we have. So we have 4 compulsory subjects as part of the CPA program. So that's ethics and governance, strategic management accounting, financial reporting, and global strategy and leadership. You then have a choice of 2 electives. So that could be within taxation or audit insurance or contemporary business issues or financial risk management, whatever you're interested in, you only need to do 2 of those. So we're very flexible as well. And I thought it's worth mentioning that we're an open book exam as well, and we have a really high pass rate. So again, we're very supportive of our members through the whole process of being a CPA. Yeah, so Matt's really highlighted about how it prepares you for a great career, and it's designed to produce CPAs who are technically skilled and solution-driven, strategic leaders and business partners in a global environment, aware of the social impacts of accounting, adaptable to change, and also able to communicate and collaborate effectively. We also have valued, recognized employer partners all over the world who recognize our qualification and our members. And again, that's if you are interested in a corporate career, that's something that's the CPA designation will support you with as well. And here I've got a list of, some of our key members. The CPA journey does open a world of opportunities. We've got, associate directors and vice chairmen at Deloitte, for example. But then we have lots of academics and lecturers at, various universities, whether that's Sussex, Open, University of Bangor. I think we have a CPA member, Tam, from Nottingham as well, actually. So we're everywhere. And I've just got a final slide about, investing in your future and some of our fees as well. We are currently offering a promo code on the application fee. So again, if you are interested in the CPA designation, please do feel free to fill in the form and come and chat to me afterwards on receiving this promotional code. So in terms of what's next, essentially it's an application form, and then you receive your confirmation of membership, and then you're able to use the CPA Australia brand to enhance your personal and professional profile as well. I thought I'd also mention that we do have some upcoming CPA events. We do a lot of complimentary events and information sessions for members, for potential members, for anyone interested in CPA. So we have some on relevant things that are happening at the moment. So like migration to Australia information session, the Australia-UK free trade agreement, investing in employment trends in Australia, and investors' uncertainty as well. So if any of those seem like something that you'd like to attend, please definitely scan the QR code or come and speak to me after this session. So yeah, that's it from me. Yeah, please definitely, now is an opportunity if you had any questions.
Thank you. I just want to about the academic route of a PhD. So I don't quite know much about it.
So yeah, we do have a pathway. It's called the special pathway, where we, offer academics the opportunity to become a CPA if they have a PhD in accounting, without having to sit any exams. So we recognise the PhD as like equivalent to having sat our exams. Essentially, what that means is it's a bit of a different process from becoming a CPA member in a through the traditional route. So what that would mean is that you would submit your CV with all your publications and information about your PhD, about your research, and that will get assessed by a membership services team, and then it will go to our council, which coincidentally Matt is on, and then we'll basically assess it or give you an interview and then decide whether you will be suitable for our special admissions pathway. We only admit a select few every year, so it's quite a competitive pathway, but I thought I'd mention, because if you are interested, it's something that we can definitely support you with and getting on board. Anyone? Does anyone have any questions for Matt as well? Because obviously he's a CPA member, so.
Yes, please. So I came from an academic background, so I've been in the academic industry for maybe 10 years. So the question is, if I obtain this CPA Australia, and if I wanted to exit the academic industry and work in the industry itself, what value can CPA Australia give me? What kind of jobs can I do as someone with a good academic record but no industry experience in this case?
Yeah, so like I said, I did something similar, and whilst I talk about the opportunity that I had to go and work at the International Accounting Standards Board, but in fact, in the lead up to that, I had used my, so once you get that CPA membership, effectively you're saying you are a qualified professional accountant. And, as Moon says, it's not just having the PhD. We look at a number of factors, including, what you've taught, the kind of range of experience you've got in accounting, the publications you're doing, and also the interest in the reason for wanting to become a CPA. But once you've got that designation, you'll know there's no difference in the qualification. You are recognized as a qualified accountant. Now, obviously, then your employer would need to assess what skills you have and you bring. But I actually used it initially. As I say, I actually started working for BDO Australia. I came in as a senior manager part-time in addition to being an academic. Now, I was very lucky. That was kind of in a technical role, but it was again off the base of having that professional qualification. So a lot of companies will just set a bar of you have to have a professional accounting qualification. Well, that's what you have. They've still got to assess what experience you have and how it matches up to what they want to do. But it gets you over that hurdle. A bit in some ways like having a PhD. To be a lecturer, often you have to have the PhD. You've got to have other things as well, but it's that ticket to get in the door. And the CPA professional qualification acknowledges that your experience and knowledge in accounting, which might have come from a different route, is acknowledged. And like I said, for me, it meant I came in at a senior manager level straight into an accounting firm, but in a very specific role.
Thank you, Matt.
You're going to try not breaking everything in the meantime. It is pure coincidence, and like I said, I mean, I wouldn't be able to work at the UKB if I didn't have an accounting qualification. The fact that I had all of the 20 years of academic experience would have been nice to them, but there was that ticket level of having a professional qualification.
I think there is increasingly perspective of academic. I don't know about the competing organization, competing professional.
Absolutely. And if you are interested, then definitely do fill in that form, and I'd be very happy to follow up with you afterwards about the process and if you had any additional questions. Hello.
Please, what is the cost of
The cost. Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of the cost, we have a standard £97 application fee, which we are currently offering a promo code specifically to BAFA attendees. So that will be waived. So you won't pay anything in terms of submitting an application. In terms of membership fees, it depends what designation you get. So if you are if after your application is assessed and they decide that you are a CPA associate, so you're not yet like a fully qualified member, then the cost of that is 170. But if they assess your application and you are a fully certified CPA, then the cost of that is £380 a year. So that's the annual membership fee. And that will, cover like things like CPD and webinars and networking opportunities and things like that. So that will come with a wide range of benefits. If you do have to do any exams with us, the cost of the exams change, but it's normally about £600 to £750 for the exam, but that covers everything. The exam itself, all the materials are like learning guide. We support our students every step of the way. So we offer, if you do have to do any exams, we offer things like, study groups, tutorials, recorded webinars and things like that. So mock exams, practice exams, things like that to ensure exam success. So yeah, it covers all of that. And our exams are really flexible as well. So we have both face-to-face and online exams. So if you want to do exams from the comfort of your home, that's possible. But equally, if you want the traditional exam experience of going to a centre, having an invigilator, we also offer that as well. So we're very flexible.
So we just want people who would like a traditional experience of the exam.
I do note that some of my colleagues who have other professional qualifications are quite jealous that ours is effectively set in Australian dollars converted to pounds. So they tell me it's very competitive to what they have to pay, but I'm not certain that it's detail.
No worries. If you do have any questions that you'd rather ask me, one-on-one, and same with Matt, please do come up and ask us. But otherwise, thank you for attending, and thank you everyone on Zoom as well for attending. Please do get in touch, and I look forward to speaking to you all soon.